Hey, what's going on? It's Romeo. What did we get into this morning? We talked about the NBA playoffs, or the NBA finals, actually, and what happened with the Knicks and the incredible comeback. And then raising a boy. What's harder, raising a boy or a girl? Somebody was asking that question. Let's get going and see what happens.
Let's talk about some of the craziest things you've seen. Just, public displays of crazy or stupidity. I mean, some things, you guys have seen some shocking things, right? All right, 842-547-7. Good morning, Hon. What's going on?
Hey, Romeo. Me and my mom, we were in L.A.
Yeah.
And we were right there off Pico, where all the homeless people were.
Sure.
And there was this lady sitting on the curb. She was shaving her I had to keep going around so I could get it on video because nobody was going to believe me.
You took a video?
I did. She was just sitting there shaving away.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, thanks for calling.
Hey, and that same part, where you were at by Griffith Park or Echo Park, whatever it is.
Yep.
We were going to Disneyland, and all of a sudden this boulder came through my Tahoe window.
No.
Out of nowhere.
Wow.
And it was so busy, I'm surprised I didn't wreck.
That's wild. Well, I'm glad you're safe. My God, that's crazy.
That was.
Yeah.
We got the window fixed and came home.
All right, thanks for calling.
All right, bye.
842-547-7. Like I said, what's the craziest thing you've seen? All right, let me see. I was just thinking now that she brought up, I was, the homeless, I was driving around here one morning and there was a guy just asleep with his pants all the way down to his ankles, just asleep on the sidewalk. Yeah, that happened too. Also, I was over by, the EDD office or wherever over there off California. Lady just naked, standing there, right next to the chicken place. It was, I guess I have seen some crazy things. All right, 842-547-7. It's the craziest thing you've seen. Let's just talk about some of the craziest things that you've seen, right? All right, Rome, here come the crackhead stories. Well, of course. Hey, Rome, I've seen a homeless guy clapping cheeks on the freeway exit in L.A. under a bridge. Wow. Oh, my God. All right, 842-547-7. What's going on?
Hey, Romeo, I got one for you.
What's up?
This homeless dude. I move cars here in California.
Okay.
I'm going down to 5 South, and right there by Glendale, I look up and I see this horse, like a little pony. And I keep looking, and it's a homeless guy, and he has this whole little farm right there. He has a cow, and recently he put an Easter bunny up there on the side of the freeway. Stuffed animal.
Wow.
Yeah. He has them all corralled in and everything. Like, he really got the going on up there.
Really? That's crazy.
Ain't it? Yeah.
All right.
Horse.
All right, man.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, first it was a horse, and then there was a big pig. And I'm like, no, this guy, he lost it.
No, he's just trying.
Yeah.
Maybe he just always wanted to own a farm, my friend. All right. Already 42547-7. Like I said, what's the craziest thing you've seen? Let's talk about some of the craziest things you've ever seen. Already 42547-7. Good morning, Hal. What's going on?
What up, Roman's Cake Boy? You know I had a call for this subject, man.
What up, man?
So I got two stories for you.
Okay.
So the first one, when I was little, I used to live off of in front of Wayside Park.
Okay.
So across the street, there was a crack house. Like, there was just nothing but crackheads living in that house. So this lady, she comes outside with, those nets they use to clean the swimming pools?
Yeah.
She came outside with one of those nets and said, "I'm catching butterflies." She was running up and down the street trying to catch imaginary butterflies with her.
Wow. That's crazy. That's nutty.
And then another one, I pick up trash all day. That's what I do for a living.
Okay.
So I was downtown, and this lady came up to me, and she goes, it was a homeless lady. She goes, "Hey, you got $1?" I was like, "No, I don't got $1. I don't have cash on me, So she walks away and comes back like 15 minutes later. And she goes, hey, you got $1 now? And pulls out her breast and showed me her breast. And I was like, no,
Oh, God.
I don't got $1. I looked away. I was like, man,
People are crazy, man. People
I
are
just walked
crazy.
away, room. That was crazy.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling.
All right, man.
All right, 842-547-7. All right, what's the craziest thing you've seen? Hey, Rome. So I went out in my backyard, and the neighbor behind me, he was having sex. They were having sex on their roof. God. Wow. Yeah, people are crazy, man. People do some crazy things. It's talking about some of the craziest things you've seen. You're just out and about. Maybe you're in, I don't know, wherever you're at. All right, 842-547-7. Let me get to these text messages. I got a bunch of them here. Hey, Romeo, I think we might have played in the same golf tournament at River Lakes 3 or 4 years back. There was a naked lady on the golf course. We had to stop playing until a cop showed up. Wow. Yeah, I never, I wasn't in that golf course. Hey, Rome, let's see here. I seen this on Olive Drive yesterday. Probably has a generator inside blowing hot fume. Basically, it's a old van with a swamp cooler connected to the back of it. Oh, gosh. Maybe he was just hauling it off. Hey, Rome, tell me why I was coming home from work and this car pulled over the side of the freeway straight, pulled her pants down, and started going to the bathroom. Oh, my God. Probably because she really had to go, man. Hey, Rome, the craziest thing I've seen, the Raiders are the craziest thing, the Raiders undefeated. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Hey, Rome, I got a crazy-ass family. My sister walked into church butt naked. The first time I brought my wife to a family party, she seen my Nina pull down her pants and pee in the parking lot. That same Nina also rolled down my hill butt naked because she had too much to drink. Sounds like yeah. And your wife still stayed with you after all of that, huh? So talk about the craziest things you've seen. Public displays are crazy, man. People are crazy. They do strange things. Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, Rome, I got a story for you, bro.
What's up?
This is way back when I used to mess around doing meth, right?
Doing what?
Meth.
Okay.
Well, trip out. I pulled up and I went to the drug dealer's house, and there was this chick out there cutting the grass with scissors, bro.
Oh, my
what
God.
What the heck? Yeah. So when I walk in, and I go, hey, what is she doing? She goes, oh, she's on a good one. I go, oh, man, I want what she had.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. I'm glad you're not on meth anymore.
Oh, not for a long time. Thank God.
Yeah, Hot, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? This is Jeff. I was working over there on 92nd in Vermont in South Central.
Okay.
And there was this old homeless lady that was always going around and asking for cigarettes, right?
Okay.
So finally, this older guy that worked with me, he didn't have any cigarettes that day. He asked for it,
And what? Oh, we lost him. I think his phone cut out. Oh, we lost him. We can't hear the end of that story. Oh, what's going on?
Hey, Romeo. So I work in the oil field.
Okay.
So we're out here in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
On a rig. This lady pulls up in a little station wagon and was like, this is my property. What are you guys doing here? She's got a stick. She's chasing the deckhands around. Hilarious.
Were you on her property?
No, we're in the oil field.
Oh, you were on a lease. Dickie's here, Moyana Fitness. We work out with Dickie 4 days a week over at his cross training facility over off of Fruitville Avenue. Good morning, Dickie.
Hey, good morning.
Now let's talk a little bit about what the gym is at first. It is a class setting. It is a 50-minute class.
Yeah, it's group training. It's Monday through Thursday, so 4 days a week. Sessions are 50 minutes each. We limit every class to 20 people per class. And it's a combination of strength and conditioning. You know, we focus on, obviously your strength, your cardio, and also your mobility, balance, things like that. It's all functional fitness to a higher level. So.
Yeah, it really is good. Even if you're not some sort of athlete, you got kids, you want to carry groceries, you want to work around the house.
Everybody's an athlete to a certain degree. We just got to find that degree.
Well, one of the problems is when you have this conversation, the first thing everybody thinks is CrossFit, or they think, and that's more, you got to be kind of a gymnastic type, kind of an athlete to do that type of workout. Your workout for cross training is much more of an everyday person, just trying to be stronger, trying to be more balanced, trying to be fitter, trying to feel better, lose weight, maybe build some muscle. And the way that happens is you're not, I want to talk about the fact that they always say, as you get a little older, or just your body needs to lift weights, your body needs to move, your body needs to do things like that.
Correct.
And your class has so many different types of people in it at different ages, different levels, and you can do that with a group.
Yes, the nice thing about our group training and our system is that you can have a 16-year-old and a 70-year-old working out next to each other.
They can actually be partners,
right? Which has happened before.
Yeah.
2 different variations, intensity level. Some go high intensity, some low impact. You could come out of surgery or something, or postpartum, or whatever the case may be. There's a way to modify and scale a lot of the way we do our program.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something you will get lost in the crowd. Kind of like, sometimes in the big box gym, I used to teach Group X, and you go in the back because you don't know what's going on. You're going left, everybody's going right.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen here because it's very structured and it's very simple to follow.
That is also one of the things you need to understand. It's very structured. So you know exactly what you're doing when you get there.
Yeah.
You have all your equipment when you get there.
Yeah.
One of the things that is great about it is the person next to you might be might be stronger than you. So they might be doing curls with 35s. You might be new to the class, still learning, or you might not, still working on, and you might be using 20s. And you guys are getting the same workout. You're burning the same calories. Yeah.
Same goal. Obviously everybody has a different goal, but it's built up to that, whether you're trying to, pack on a lot of muscle or just tone up. It's very different, but you can achieve with the same program that we do and the scalability.
Muliana Fitness, Dickie, they got to call you? How they get a hold of you?
Text me, 661-444-3635. I'm going to find out more about getting a week free trial. No strings attached. Just come out for you, and then we can go from there.
All right, so we got Dickie here talking about getting in shape, I know summer's coming and everybody goes, well, let's get in shape for summer. Well, I think we need to go a little bit more beyond that and just being in shape year round,
Yeah.
And that's why I talk about Dickie, because Dickie has a set class for Monday through Thursday. It's 50-minute sessions. You just program it into your lifestyle, into your schedule, and you get that exercise in.
Yeah, the nice thing is you don't have to do any online registration where, sometimes you get classes, sometimes you don't. You're guaranteed a class spot every day, and you can always crash other times, because life happens,
Life does happen.
Make it in the morning, come in the afternoon, vice versa.
But now, the reason I say that is because we're not, you just got to stay. The problem is you see these meatheads or these fitness people on TikTok or whatever, and you go, I got to be like, no, you don't have to be like that. You just have to work out within your own abilities, stay healthy, stay in shape, so you can, play with your kids or, whatever the case may be. Do yard work. I don't give a damn what it is. But it's just one of those things that everybody looks online and they go, I got to be a fitness model. No, you don't. I can't do a damn pull-up, but yet I work out every day.
Unfortunately, social media puts a lot of unrealistic expectation.
Yeah.
What they don't see is how many years those fitness influencers had put in. And prior to them going on the platform, right?
Yeah.
So here we not only start you off, maybe you were an athlete in high school, maybe you're Al Bundy, you were scoring, 5 touchdowns in one game, but we start you back up, and then we start you with a basic nutrition program, and then we'll move up to a custom nutrition program, depending on what you're trying to do. That way. That's, we all know. Nutrition is number one key to success, especially doing a weight loss.
Yep.
So we do that, and, we get to bring the best athlete version of you at the current time.
Let's just talk real quick about some of the exercises. Obviously we do burpees, we do box jumps, we do curls.
So we do, a lot of plyometrics, trying to do that. And obviously if you cannot jump, you can always do step ups, right? Yes. So there's a modification for that. We do a lot of free weights. That means a lot of dumbbell works. And I'm a big believer of, imbalance of trying to do, each arm has to balance itself out instead of using a lot of barbells. Kind of, stability wise is different. We still do barbell works, but we do a lot of free weights. That way, I have a girl that is strong in one arm, she's injured on the other arm, so she's got a 20 and a 5, right? So that can't happen with barbell. But we do your basic curls, chest presses, but you also do some of the similar stuff to CrossFit. You do snatches, we do barbell cleans and thrusters. We do box jumps, we do jump ropes, we do a little bit of run here and there. Our runs are like 1/10 of a mile, so 160 meters. So the way we break it down is usually either a 5-rounder or a 10-rounder, and scalability wise is very doable no matter what level you are at your fitness point.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things, or one of the great things, is some of it's timed. A lot of it's timed, so you don't ever get stuck. You don't ever get stuck on one thing trying to get it done because you're not good at one thing. So you're able to get everything in.
It's funny you say that. The reason why our program works the way it is because somebody did get stuck at one exercise years ago. We're in year 15. This is probably year 3. He got stuck for like 30 minutes on one exercise. I said, this has to get better. So we created this program.
That's hilarious. All right. Dickie, Moyana Fitness. You can check them out on the social medias. And what is the phone number again, Dickie?
661-444-3635. Or check it out on Instagram or Moyana Fitness.
Dickie's here, Moyana Fitness. We've been working out with him for years now. He has a class, a 50-minute cross-training class. 5 of them a day.
Yeah.
And you can choose one. You got your spot. You take your class. You build it into your schedule. So it's just like, anything else you do. You drop the kids, go to practice. You go work out. It's the same thing. Now you are going to do something with kids. Now this is very important because kids today don't get as much exercise as they used to.
Right.
Some of your kids do because you just throw them outside and they run around. But you're going to do something with kids and parents, or just kids?
So it's kids focus. Okay. So we're going to do, it's 2 days a week. It's Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
It's at 10 a.m. Now the kids are out of school.
Oh, yeah. They'll be out of school.
Everybody, you can let them sleep in a little and then, get up, do a little egg workout.
Yeah.
The one parent is encouraged to join them. They don't have to, but it is encouraged.
That's what I was going to say, because one of the things that I know is a lot of parents working or playing with their kids, and to combine that with a workout where they can do it together and both get a little healthier together is a great idea.
Yeah, I always say, always have a workout partner, somebody to keep each other accountability. What better way to have a mom and kid, or dad and kid to go onto these classes. They're very simple, they're very basic. Obviously, the age range is from 5 years old to 12 years old. So
5 to 12,
more of the smaller kids, not so much of the junior high school kids, right?
Yeah. So moms, if you're looking for something to do with your kids during the summer, it's a great opportunity.
This is going to base on structure on functional fitness camp, which is much different than just having a camp where they just have your kids run around and just waste time. The 2 minutes waste of time.
Yeah.
This they'll teach you how to properly do squats, properly do push-ups. Your basic stuff in the beginning, and then we gradually go on. And obviously the smaller kids is gonna have more body weight. Maybe the older kids can do some lighter weights as we progress on this. So, but it's only 30-minute sessions. It's twice a week. It gets you a routine and get your kids to learn how to properly do workouts and do functional fitness movement, things like that. Because I know my son he's coming on with 6 years old, and he's learning all this stuff. You can see him on my Instagram. He does pretty good. I mean, he's sloppy. He's 5, But they have to learn in the early age and take precaution on proper form, things like that.
And it is a great time for you to spend a little bit of time with your kids, getting exercise in, getting healthier. What's your phone number?
661-444-3635. And you'll also see this post later on today about the information for it.
I mean, it really is a great thing. And you got to understand, it's not one of these... It's not intense. I mean, if you want it to be intense, Dickie will yell at you. If you're that type of person, if you're just kind of laid back and you want to work out and you're not really an intense person, you're doing it for your ropes, Dickie will handle you in that manner as well.
Right.
Just to understand.
Right.
Some people everybody works out for a different reason.
Correct.
And
So-
you have to understand that. So,
We're gonna
and
have
Dickie
a little,
does.
We're gonna have a little fun, but we also gonna be strict on proper form, things like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
the kids get a little taste of harsh reality, but at the same time they're not gonna cry going home, right? So
Yeah,
you gotta
no.
have a balance on
Not
that.
like all the
and also the
adults.
parents, who, if you decide to join in, you get a little workout, maybe not an intense
Yeah.
workout like a normal class would be because it is focused more on kids, but
Yep.
you get a workout regardless.
All right, Dickie, number again?
661-444-3635.
You can text him, you can call him, go to Instagram, check out Moyana Fitness, Dickie. We'll talk to you next
You
week.
got it.
Last night, the Knicks and the Spurs. I'm not a huge basketball fan anymore. I used to be a really big basketball fan when they actually, played like men. Now I'm not really sure what they do. But the Spurs and the Knicks. What was it? Game 4 at the Garden. Never been to the Garden. I'm sure some of you have. I don't know if anybody listening has ever been to the Garden. Supposedly, it is the best place to go watch a game, a concert. Supposedly, it's the mecca of state arenas to go to. Now, I don't know. That could just be New Yorkers being a-holes and jackasses like they are, thinking they're better than everybody else when they're really just a bunch of clowns. But that's beside the point. So I've never been there. I don't know if you have. Gilly might have been there. I know Gilly might have gone to the Garden. I don't know. Maybe he has. But anyway, it was just an incredible. I don't know if it was an incredible basketball game or not. It was kind of cool seeing all the stars there. There was a lot of celebrities there that were from New York. I didn't really see any fans in the building. Maybe Kylie Jenner. She might be the only one, but her boyfriend's from New York, so she's down by association. But other than that, I think everybody was legitimately a fan. All the celebrities were legitimate New Yorkers and fans of the team. So it was kind of neat seeing all them. The excitement of the game, I can only imagine how exciting it was for the Knicks fans. They were down by like 29 points at one point in the game. And it looked like it was over. The Knicks ended up coming back. I think even in the fourth quarter, they were down by like 20 points. The Knicks ended up coming back and winning it by 1 point, I believe, 106, 107, I think is what it was. And so I don't know if it was just a disastrous flop by the Spurs or if the Knicks are that good or whatever. Either way, the excitement, the point I'm trying to make about it was there's a lot of haters out there talking about, the Knicks suck, the Spurs suck, all those people are a bunch of idiots. And I do think New Yorkers are idiots, okay? But I will say this. The excitement and the emotion of that game had to be so incredibly thrilling to be there if you were a New York Knicks fan and truly are a fan of that team. The excitement and the thrill of watching your team losing, and they should have lost the game, losing by 29 points in basketball and 20 points in a fourth quarter of basketball, and to come back and win by 1 point. I don't know. Have you guys ever done anything like that? The closest I've ever gotten to that, and it wasn't even a game that meant anything. This is for the championship. I was at a Kings game. Me and my brother were at a Kings game like the day after Christmas or Christmas Day against the Lakers. And it was one of those walk-away shots. And this was a meaningless game. It didn't mean anything. Just to us sitting in the arena and whoever dropped the game winner with no time left, and everybody just left the stadium heading down K Street to go party. I mean, but the excitement to be in a game, I want to say maybe I was at a Dodger game once where a walk-off, I think I saw a walk-off, which was just, it's exciting. They're thrilling. The excitement, ups and downs of sports can really be emotional and really be tiresome, but it can also be so thrilling. And I can only imagine how those fans last night, and you could talk about what idiots they were by destroying stuff, but those aren't true fans doing that. RD42547-7. Did you guys watch the game? Anybody? And what I want to say this, the World Cup starts today. So you're going to see the same rabid fans. Soccer fans are just incredibly loyal, true, and emotionally attached to soccer teams. So you'll see something very similar today. A lot of places around town.
Hey, what's up, Rome?
Hey, Ruben, what up, man?
Man, that's how my house gets, Rome. Last night was the Knicks game, and then today they're having my daughters are having a watch party at like 11:30 today at the house.
For the World Cup?
Yeah, for the World Cup, Rome. They're like, come on, Dad, you got to come home for lunch. I'm like, nah, I ain't stopping in the middle of the day. I got to stay working.
Who's playing at 11 o'clock?
Sure, I don't even know, Rome. I'm telling you, I've been so busy with work, but all I know is last night the kids were getting stuff ready, and their dad at 11 o'clock, we got our friends coming over, and I'm like, all right, well, you guys have fun.
Yeah, it'll get crazy for the soccer.
Yeah,
the soccer will get crazier.
They're all locked on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the soccer will get crazy.
We had a tournament that we were supposed to go up into LA, Rome, and they were trying to schedule us for this weekend. And I'm like, man, you guys are crazy. Hotels went up to like $800 a night.
Oh yeah, they're playing some games in LA at SoFi. I forgot about that. You're right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it ain't the time to be getting no hotel rooms in LA right now. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, when you're a fan, man, it gets a little crazy that day. But hey, you know what, Rome? I'm not a big fan of basketball. You know that.
Yeah.
But that game last night, man, that was pretty cool. The way they came back.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was pretty. It was.
Give it to them. A comeback like that, you got to give it to them because you know they wanted it.
Okay. Oh, Mexico and South Africa. All right, Ruben, later, brother. Oh, Mexico plays. Mexico and South Africa play at noon. They play at noon today, and then that last night game. I mean, just you could feel the energy just watching it on TV. Now, and I'm not even a New York fan. As far as I'm concerned, anything past New Mexico don't exist to me. I could care less about any of those people on that way. I'm California in born and raised and would never leave. But you could just feel the excitement, man. It was wild. Yo, Rome, I'm a Spurs fan, and it was an epic choke. It's true what they say: you live by the 3-pointer, you die by it. It's unbelievable game. It was unbelievable. You're right. All right. I do got to say this, though. Oh, what'd you send me here? Hey, Rome, Mexico's playing at noon. Oh, yeah. So Mexico. Who's Mexico playing at noon? South Africa and Mexico playing at noon. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of people out today, man. If you're looking to go to lunch, if you're looking to go out and have there's going to be a lot of people out at noon taking the rest of the day off to watch Mexico and South Africa play. So the World Cup, man, it's incredible, the fans. It's incredible how crazy they get over soccer. And that's why I said last night when I was watching that Knicks game, boy, that stadium, that Madison Square Garden just looked insane. I mean, the feelings, the ups and the downs and the thrill that those fans went through last night must have been just incredible. Just absolutely insane. All right, 842-547-7. Yo, Rome. So now where are we going to get all these Knicks jerseys at? You're going to see all these New York Knicks fans in Bakersfield? Probably not. That's probably one of the few teams in that could win a championship, or because of what they did last night, that's probably one of the few teams that Bakersfield will bandwagon, just because nobody cares about New York. New York sucks. I'm probably not. I would bet there's not one person in Bakersfield that's lived in New York. So I'm just going to say that for that. So, but hey, I don't know. We'll see in the New York Knicks flags. Maybe there'll be one bandwagoner who really needs to make him feel better, make himself feel better about his life. So he'll go get the jersey. I don't know. I don't think so though. I don't think so. Of all the teams that Bakersfield's going to bandwagon, I don't think the Knicks are one of them. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. We bring him in on Thursdays to talk to him about your relationships. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
All right. Marriage Family Center, 661-327-5100. Now, explain to everybody what you actually do, Michael, before we get into some stuff to talk about.
Well, I just mostly help people figure out how to reconnect again. Whatever's gotten people apart, whether it's a bad habit of arguing with each other, they just kind of can't really talk, or they've just sort of drifted apart. Our schedules are different. We're kind of not coming together anymore, and that's when people reach out.
Now, Michael, when we talk about reconnecting, does it always mean that we have to be fighting or arguing, or can we just be roommates, so to speak?
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes people just kind of they sort of stop making the gestures. They kind of just, the sex life starts to just dissolve, and then they do. Like you said it well. That's the very words they'll use sometimes. It's like we're roommates.
Well, we just kind of, I was just curious because we always talk about, or I think people really find problems in their relationship when they're arguing, as opposed to just kind of, how do I say, putting up with each other, not really getting upset over things, just kind of, humdrum through life with each other. You still might do things together every once in a while, or maybe you still might do things together because you've been doing it that way all these years, but you're not really in a place where you just love being there. Not that you hate being there, but you're just kind of blah, 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 blah. Does that happen? Is that happening more with people than we think? And they think everything's just the way it's supposed to be because, well, that's how my parents were. That's just, we're not arguing, so we're better than our friends who are always fighting. So do you see that a lot in relationships?
Very often. The thing we get used to becomes normal. I mean, that's just almost by definition. That's what normal is. Mm-hmm. Normal is what we're used to. Yeah. And so sometimes we get used to just this sort of humdrum existence. An interesting thing happens sometimes, and that is that when each partner, when their kind of level of attraction and level of connectedness kind of goes down at the same time, then you don't see a lot of arguing because they're both sort of accepting what's going on. But when one person feels really committed and they sense that other person's attachment going down, that's when you start to see a lot of the arguing because it creates a tension between them. And the person, it's like, wow, I'm being rejected, or, so I feel threatened, or there's something going on. And then that tension comes out in the way they talk to each other, the way they treat each other. And then all of those bad habits start to get amplified, the ones that we really work on with couples so that they can actually sit down and have a conversation. Wait a minute, let's talk about what's really going on, where we are right now, and what we need.
Is it possible, Michael, for a couple to be married in a relationship where they're not necessarily happy, but they're not miserable, and they may be getting their needs met just enough to not see, hey, this could be so much better, but it's not that terrible. I still get sex every 6 months, or I still, whatever. We're not fighting. We still go, do the family dinners or whatever and family functions as a couple, but we really just aren't as happy. Do we not realize it as we're in that relationship? Do we not realize that it can be better because we've, as you said, this is the new normal?
You're hitting on the main tension of just mental health in general. Mm-hmm. Because in order to be happy, we need to accept things the way they are. And then in order to have things be better, we need to not accept things the way they are, right? We need to realize that there could be something better and make progress toward that. Yep. Well, I guess mental health is kind of accepting both at the same time. The way things are right now is okay, but they don't have to be this way tomorrow. They could be better tomorrow. And that is a tough thing for us to kind of keep in our heads at the same time.
Yeah. All right, Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center. All right, everybody, Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center.
Wow. Applause from the background.
Oh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing it's summertime and nobody's listening. They're all hanging out somewhere else. They're all in bed still because their kids don't got to be at school. All right, Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. Now, that's where you call Michael. If you guys actually want to ask questions about your relationship, 842-5477. We can deal with some of it to a certain extent if you guys really have some issues. I know we haven't done a lot of that in the last years, Michael. So if you do want to text me, 842-5477, we can talk a little bit. Michael, I want to get back to this this idea of us being happier in our relationships, and I feel like most people don't really understand that. I don't think society has really changed in the way of marriage, of going, look, you are going to have hurdles, ups and downs. You're going to have struggles. You're going to have kids and mortgages and jobs, and it's going to get a little bit complicated. But that does not mean you have to lose your relationship in the sense of you need to put up with this humdrum lifestyle. You know, what you always see that movie, Michael, where they get up, go to work at 6, come home at 5, have dinner, watch TV, go to bed. You know, that old just boring lifestyle that is monotonous, that you don't have to have that. And it doesn't seem like society has ever tried to change that as a big picture, at least from my perspective. Michael, what do you think about that?
That we are really very much encouraged to sort of accept this kind of idea that, over time things will get humdrum and you'll just sort of settle into this, we'll peck on the cheek and then we go to our separate corners, I go read the paper and you go do whatever. Yeah, I just think that it's almost too bad. There's so much human potential, I think, that gets lost or wasted when we just accept I don't know, just you were so right before when you said that things can get better. You could be having so much more, and just because you're not arguing or fighting or getting cheated on or cheating on, just because that's sort of like dependable, doesn't mean it's great.
Well, now let me ask you this, Michael, because you did make a comment of what today is doesn't have to be tomorrow. So, I mean, you could have a bad day at work, go home and just go sit in your room and be pissed off or sip wine in the closet or whatever it is you do and take that day. But the next day you can be, okay, so now we're with the family again. Now we're doing stuff. Now, I mean, I don't get how we get there. How do we get back to the point where you go, you know what? Today was kind of, we didn't do anything. Everybody sat around the house and was on their phones and nobody paid attention to each other. But tomorrow doesn't have to be like that. And we can figure it out if we want to. But do we really want to, I guess? Is that a question that should be asked?
Well, I think we sometimes want to. It'll occur to us. It'll kind of go through our head. And then we think, yeah, but do I really want to rock the boat? Or do I want to risk rejection? Having the conversation with your partner of, hey, I'd really like to spice things up in the bedroom, is risking having them go, yeah, no, I don't. I'm just fine with the way things are.
Sure.
Ouch, that would really hurt.
Yeah.
So it does matter how you approach these things, but do it. Don't just kind of put it on the shelf and kind of go, it's too risky.
Well, at what point do you just give up then, Michael? We should never give up, right? If we want this person in our life and we want this relationship to work well and be happy, we never should give up, right?
I don't think it feels like giving up to people when they settle. I think it feels like, hey, I'm doing the noble thing. I'm enduring. I'm facing this. Sure. This long struggle or whatever. Well, no, you're giving up. It's just you're just putting a fancy label on it.
I saw this video yesterday, Michael. I think it was on Instagram, and it showed the dad. The dad went out to the backyard to start jumping on the trampoline, and the question was, how long did it take the kids to join? 3 kids in the house, all on their technology, and they were little kids. And he goes, how long you think it'll take for them to figure it out? And the first kid, it took 15 seconds for him to run out there and jump on the trampoline. The second kid didn't really care. The third kid, it took like 45 seconds, they said. And so 2 of the kids were out there with the dad playing in the trampoline because he started it.
Yeah.
And as we're talking about this, you got to start it. You got to try something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, no, you kind of don't have to. But what are you saying no to tomorrow just because you're putting up with today? What could things be like down the road for you? How could this summer end up for you if you don't just kind of say, man, I'd rather not rock the boat? So, that's a great vision. It should be in people's mind of setting up this trampoline, hey, there's an opportunity here for us, and then going for it.
Yeah, I want to ask you about, I want to talk to you a little bit more about this. Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. If you want to talk to Michael, 661-327-5100. If you got any questions, 842-5477 about your relationship. Michael, good morning. And
good morning.
I want to continue a little bit about, kind of, I don't know how to say it. You're not really, you kind of aren't connected. You're losing your connection just because jobs or kids or TV or phones or whatever. But you really want to try to get that back. And I'm going to use this example again. Oh, go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the way you said before the break was great. It was like, does it matter how you go about making these changes? And I think it really does.
Okay. What? So what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, if you've ever worked for a company where nothing ever happens, right? I mean, it's like totally a need for a change, and nobody's sort of listening. It just isn't happening. It doesn't. That feels terrible. You feel like, wow, this is just, there's like nobody home. I'm just here by myself. And that's how it feels in a relationship when nothing changes.
Yeah.
But then we've also worked for a company where all of a sudden they're like, okay, guys, new computer system, get used to it. Here it is.
Yeah.
You're going to this training and you're going to learn to use this thing, and you just feel sort of jerked along. So either approach in relationships is also not good. If you want to make changes in a relationship, you got to bring things up. You got to bring people along. You use some courage and encouragement, but you also take your time and you kind of you need to find out how people are feeling about this change as it goes along, or people just feel sort of pushed through it.
And that's what I was kind of going to get to, Michael, about how you approach it. You come in and you go, I mean, I'll just give you an example. The guy, the thing I saw on the video the other day, the dad went to play on the trampoline. The kids had the option to go out or not. 2 of the 3 kids went right out there to go play with him. And that's a positive change for a relationship, to connect with his kids. So now you got the kids at home on their phones. You got the wife on her phone. Everybody's just kind of, and then dad comes home and he wants to do stuff. Nobody wants to do stuff. Or even dad comes home and wants to just sit down, and mom wants to do stuff. They've been waiting all day for dad to come home to do family stuff. The way you handle it, you can't just, it seems to me like most people give their family or their relationships ultimatums as opposed to options. And I just don't understand why we do that. And I may be wrong about that.
No, I think that is an approach a lot of people use, or it's kind of almost a bullying approach where it's just like, okay, well, give me those phones. We're going to go out and play on the trampoline now.
Yes.
How well is that going to go over?
Exactly.
You're going to have people just staring at you while you jump on the trampoline. Can we go back inside now?
Exactly. But if you give options of doing things that can be, you say, hey, what do you guys feel about doing this? Let's go to the movies. Let's go to dinner. Let's go, to the boulevard. Let's go. I mean, just different options of things that you can do together, even if it's something at home. I don't see a lot of people giving options for everybody to kind of decide for themselves. Hey, this is the best way for me to reconnect with you. Instead, you're like you said, bully, ultimatums, things like that.
Yeah, and here's the weird thing that happens when the honeymoon phase starts to wear off. Remember when you were courting that person, when you wanted their attention? Yeah. Man, you would put up with a ton of rejection. You would try little things here and there, and sometimes they didn't work, and you didn't care. You were we stay persistent. But then later in the relationship, then it's just like, oh man, it would feel so terrible if they said no. Well, wait a minute, what happened to you? Where's that person that showed up, 6 months or 2 years ago, and was just willing to try all kinds of new things? What happened to that person? Now all of a sudden you're this person that's just like super gun shy or whatever. And we sometimes will like go, yeah, that's true, because of them.
Yeah.
we sort of blame their behavior on how we are now, and boy, that never goes well.
All right, Michael Bean is here from the Marriage and Family Center. One last thing, Michael, as it pertains to this situation, then I got a couple questions I want to ask you. People have texted in. One day you might, and I always joke about this at my house. I always say, one day I'll walk into the house and the dishes are there, and I think, they don't bother me. The next day, I might wake up and go, man, those are really bothering me. Let me get that done right now because they're just driving me insane today. But they didn't drive me insane yesterday. So how do we deal with couples who maybe one day he or she really doesn't want to do, you're just not on the same energy level at that day. And it never seems to work out. And now one day turns into 1 month.
I know. How do you kind of persist with anything that isn't like a sure thing? It's real easy to just say, okay, well, I'm going to paint this room a different color, and then you pick out the paint and you do it, because that's one thing you can just sort of make a decision about and have it happen. But when you're dealing with another person, you've got their attitudes about it and how they're going to respond to it and their energies and ups and downs. And so you do have to have a different kind of patience and persistence than you do with almost any other thing that you're trying to make changes in life.
All right, Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center. Michael Bean is here for the Marriage and Family Center, 661-327-5100. You call Michael, go through the motions. There is some steps you have to follow, and you can get a hold of him. Good morning, Michael.
Well, good morning.
Okay, somebody just texted, I want to have this conversation because I think it's a very important one that a lot of people may be dealing with in their lives. It says, good morning, Romeo. The question is, he wants me to hear about his day, but when I tell him about mine, he shows no interest or barely even responds. Pretty common, right, Michael? Sometimes it's just even common between friends. It's just personalities between people. Yeah.
True, and I would say personalities and also just habits of interaction. It's the way you kind of start interacting with each other, and it becomes kind of the rules of your relationship. And man, before I answer, I just wanted to let everybody know, hey, I get it that I don't know your situation, and we're sitting here talking about relationships kind of in general terms.
Yeah.
In ways that may or may not apply to somebody who's listening to this. There are probably people right now who are just thinking, oh, I'm so frustrated hearing this because I know all of that. I've tried all of that.
Yeah.
It's just that doesn't work. And so I just want to let you know, I get it that I don't understand your situation. I want to understand your situation so I can help specifically you. But right now we just have to kind of talk in generality in ways that might appeal to most people, but I get it that you're not most people,
Okay, so
these habits of interaction where you end up feeling like, okay, well, how is it that I can listen to you and hear you talk about something maybe that's not even really that interesting to me, but I can hear you out and let you kind of speak. But when it's my turn, I feel sort of cut off or put off, or like, now it's this like you're making some big, huge sacrifice to even hear me for 10 seconds. That doesn't feel good. It just doesn't. And almost behind that question, I just sense this feeling of almost like a lack of respect, or something, or a lack of regard. Maybe that other person just doesn't think much of me.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
It comes across like that. I don't know that person is feeling that way, but in those interactions, in that moment when you just want to be heard, it does kind of feel that way. It feels bad that we have to assert ourselves instead of the other person sort of asserting our needs for us.
I got 900 questions for you. One is, was he like this when you met him? Two, when you deal with somebody, just because they don't react the way that you react when somebody's saying something to you doesn't mean they're not listening. And what is if you're more of a animated vocal person and you show it in a way that seems different than somebody else shows it to you, does that really mean that that they don't care? And I'm just, these are the questions I would ask, Mike. I'm not trying to contradict what she's saying. What I'm saying is all of these things complicate, and as you said, I don't know your situation. You just said it. So these would be all the questions you have to figure out before you can actually help somebody and go, wait a second, here's where we can help each other. But we don't know any of those questions. I don't know if he's been like that from day one. I don't know if he's listening and his responses are more of he's kind of a quiet, silent, quiet type, or a quiet type. And she's more of a vocalizing, huggy, feely type. I don't know those questions. I don't know those answers to those questions. Now, let me ask you this. Does that play a factor in helping somebody as I just asked you those questions?
Well, I mean, at some point it might. I think initially it's really important to just take a person at face value and go, hey, if you're having this question, it's because you're really lacking something that you need in this relationship. And that was my best guess, is that it's that feeling of feeling regarded.
I don't disagree with you. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I would just wanted to know these other things to understand more about him. Maybe you're overreacting and he's underreacting, and now we got to find a middle ground for everybody.
There are ways to go with this, for sure. There are ways for this person who wrote in to get their needs met in this relationship in a really fulfilling way. I'm not sure what those ways are, because that's the process. That's what we have to get to through the interaction, by finding out all the details about, the history and the actual dynamics of the relationship, what got it to this point and what keeps it at this point. That's the important thing. I mentioned the word history, and that is important, just that it sort of enlightens how the path was walked to this point. But we don't dwell on it. We talk about, okay, well, what is the dynamic right now, and what would you like it to be, and what's the first step kind of toward that?
Michael Bean, got to get you out of here. Marriage of Family Center, 661-327-5100. Give him a call, Michael. We will talk to you next week. I was going to ask you something. I'll talk to you about it off the air. All right, Michael.
Yeah, while you're thinking about that, I just want to remind people that when you do call 661-327-5100, just follow the instructions. Just listen to the message and follow the instructions, and you'll get to talk to me.
Well, if they knew how to listen, Michael, they wouldn't be calling you. So the Dad Olympics. We got the Dad Olympics coming up on Thursday, June 18th over at the Boulevard. Okay, that is the Thursday before before Father's Day. And we're looking for 20 teams of dads and their kids. Your kids do have to be under 18. They have to be kids. And we're going to compete in 4 events. We're going to compete in laser tag, or a version of laser tag. We're going to do some skee ball. We're going to do some bowling, a version of bowling. We're also going to do the rope course that they have up there. So the Boulevard, if you haven't been there, it's a great place to go with your kids and have a good time. Good food, cold beer, video games, all that good stuff, bowling. So we're going to be there for that. And this Dad Olympics might be turning out better than I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need 20 teams. I'm at 11 now. And winner's going to get a brand new barbecue. There's a first place prize pack, but first place is a brand new barbecue from the bulk yard. And we're also going to throw in some Mecca Nutrition gift certificates, Fresco Mexican Meat Market and Grill. Got some gift certificates. Current Oil Change, going to give you some gift certificates for oil changes, services, things like that. What am I missing? I know I'm missing something. But anyway, so it's a big prize pack for dads. First, second, and third. And I've been signing dads up. So I guess let me just double check what the prizes are again. I don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, Mecca, Fresco Mexican Grill, Fresco Mexican Meat Market, Current Oil Change. Okay, so yeah. So, and then of course the Boulevard. Dads want to be a part of it. And you've been texting me to see if you can still be a part of it. So let me see what you sent me. Hey, Rome, if you're still taking dads for the competition, sign me and my son up, please. CJ and Andrew. All right, you guys are in, CJ. I'm assuming Dad's name is CJ. So CJ, I'm gonna write your phone number down, the one that you texted me with, and you're in. Now the contest is gonna go from 7:30 to 10, 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Thursday, June 18th, over at the Boulevard. Okay, want to make sure you guys know it's an early morning thing. So you guys will come down. Dad Olympics. Sign me up, Rome, for the Dad Olympics. Jonathan and Brandon. Yep, Jonathan and Brandon, you are in. So now what did I say? Now I got 13, huh? 13 teams. I need 20. We don't need to get them all today. We got until the 17th to sign you guys all up. But yeah, I want to let you guys play. But once I get my 20 teams, can't let you guys in. You just have to come down and watch and hang out with us. All right, so I was watching some videos earlier today about the Knicks fans, right? The Knicks, very impressive with what they did, and very impressive with what happened last night at the Knicks game in the NBA Finals.
Richie and Little Richie. Do you guys want to participate? They just sent me 2 names, Richie and Little. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're asking me. So thinks that all their fans are fake, right? And I'm gonna tell you this: that they're, I believe that all those fans that were cited in Celebrity Row and wherever they put them, I 100% believe they're fans. Unlike Los Angeles, I think Los Angeles is the most trendy fake losers on the planet. But I believe they were real fans. And so I was watching a video, they were asking of all the fans, they're like, Taylor Swift was there. I think Taylor Swift goes to the Knicks games even when they're not in the spotlight. And they were talking about who was the fakest fan there. Some idiot had the nerve to say Spike Lee. Spike Lee pays for his tickets. For those of you that don't know, a lot of those celebrities get free tickets, but they have a lot of rules they got to follow to get those free tickets. Spike Lee pays for his season tickets. Okay? So Spike Lee's been a fan of the Knicks forever. He is the ultimate fan of the Knicks, if you're going to ask anybody. But they said Kylie Jenner, and this is why I wanted to say this, because they were talking, well, Timothy Chalamet, he's a fake fan, and Kylie Jenner, and then they said, well, Kylie Jenner's a fake fan. I don't think Timothy Chalamet is a fake fan. I think he is a young fan who can now afford to go sit there, and he's famous. But I don't think Kylie Jenner is a fan of the Knicks. I think she's a fan of her boyfriend. And I think it's funny how ignorant people get online and say ignorant things. Well, of course she's not a real fan. She's a California girl. I don't even know that she's a sports fan, to be honest with you, of any sport. But her boyfriend is. So what are you going to do? What would you do? Let me ask you this question. What are you supposed to do? You're a huge fan of something, right? You're a huge fan of, I don't know, we'll pick your team. And then you go and get married. What are you supposed to do? Not take your wife? Not take your girlfriend? To what turned out to be one of the... I wish I was at Madison Square Garden last night, and I want both those teams to lose. But I wish I was there to experience that. What are you supposed to do? Look, man, you could be a fan by association. If my best friend called me and said, hey, bro, I got tickets to the Knicks. Let's go check them out. Okay, let's go. Oh, Romeo's a fake-ass fan. No, I'm not. I'm a fan of being involved in stuff that's fun. That looks like fun. I don't like the Dodgers, but I love going to watch Dodger games also because Daniel Rodriguez got some amazing seats. And I sit with all those people and have an amazing time. They're so much fun. And I don't care if the Dodgers win or lose. You know? It's just about... So I'm sick of this. Anyway. What did you send me here? 842-547-7. What up, Rome? As a parent, do you think it's easier to raise a boy than a girl? Yeah, 100% it's easier to raise a boy than a girl. Why would you ask me that question? Boys are far easier to raise than girls, absolutely. Especially with today's drama-filled social media, everybody wants to be an influencer nonsense. Yeah, I would say it's 100% easier to raise a boy than a girl, especially in today's society. Maybe 30 years ago it was a 50-50, about the same, but no.
Yes, oh my gosh, Romeo. So the girls are so much harder to deal with. Knowing I have a 16-year-old and I started over and now I have a 2-year-old.
Okay.
It's so much easier than my 16-year-old, even though they have the difference. But you're right, in this society, she wants her belly button pierced, she wants a tattoo, she wants all this stuff. And I'm like... And my nephews are so different, and I'm like, they don't want none of that. I'm just like, and then I'm having another girl, and I'm like, I'm about to have to go through. I wanted another boy, but boys are terrible. Don't get me wrong. They're
terrible.
But girls, their attitudes, it's their attitudes for me. That's what it is.
Let me ask you this question, though. Do you think that in the 80s, girls were harder to raise than boys?
I I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think
It
it's
was
today.
easier,
Yeah.
because they were raised different. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, they knew
Yeah.
what they had to do,
Yeah.
so they were trained different. And then it's the mothers that's
Sure.
teaching them too. So
Okay.
I mean, it comes where it starts from home, like they say.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
Right.
But I think it's far worse today for girls to raise girls just because of social media, just because of what's going on. Yeah.
Just
All right.
because of social media
Yeah.
and all the drama and
Yeah.
all the he say, she say, and
Yeah.
I like this boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so much. It's so much drama.
All right. Well, thanks
All
for
right.
calling. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Have a great one.
You too. Yeah, I think she's right. I think when it comes to raising kids, before social media, girls were probably easier or probably about the same as boys. But after social media, it's probably much harder to raise girls.
Romeo, so you still talking about the girls or the boys easier?
Yeah, what's up?
So, but like, in what aspect are we talking easier? Because I have 4 boys. I don't have daughters, but I do know my friend, she has all girls, no sons. So I'm like, comparing apples to apples. But it's like, in what aspect are they easier, do you think, the boys?
Well, I just think boys bring less drama to the party. They might bring more chaos and more headaches and more nonsense in a sense of because they do goofy things, and they get into they jump around a lot, so to speak, and get into messes. But women just bring emotional drama to the table for no reason all the time. I mean, you women are
Maybe that's why
emotional.
I'm lacking. I need that emotional drama. And I'm like, it's so fun over here. Like, it's so, like, my boys are so boring. Well, yeah, they're boring. I guess that is easier, right? Because they're boring, but they're expensive. Like, the food, like, the girl earlier was talking about the girls want, tattoos, but the boys, they eat a lot. And then also, like, you can go to, like, the store, like, Forever 21 and, like, get, a cute outfit for a reasonable price. But the boys, they want, like, that name brand stuff,
Well, You're right. I'm not going to argue with you. You're absolutely right. But I was going to say, you know how you women are with your emotional drama, and then you had to say, that's what I miss, emotional drama.
I think that's what I'm lacking in my household then, because it's like, I'm like, man, I go to her house and she's like so annoyed. She's like, ugh. It's so frustrating for her. But like, I'm like, wow, it's so alive over here.
4254707. Somebody asked me if it was easier to raise a boy or a girl. And I would say yes. In today's society, it's easier to raise a boy than it is to raise a girl. But social media really does throw a monkey wrench into the program with all these girls trying to be, influencers or never getting a break from the drama of just being a girl, And this is what somebody said. Hey, Rome, that girl who just called talking about she has all boys and her friend has all girls. Did she say she misses the drama of being a girl? Yeah, that's what she said. That's why I say it's not. It's harder to raise girls. But part of the problem is, as it comes to this, I think there's a lot of moms out there that like the drama, that they miss that high school, that popular girl, that mean girl, that this boy likes that boy type drama that is created. And I think there's a lot, especially in Rosedale. I think a lot of those moms live vicariously through the drama of their girls, and I think they like it, But yeah, but I do want to say this though. I do think that it has changed. I think that raising kids in, let's say, the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s was probably about the same, no matter what gender they were. But once we've reached this internet era and this social media era and this influencer era and this idea that these girls cannot get away from the drama at school because it's all over social media, their boyfriend went out with this girl or was hanging out with that girl, and it just is thrown in their face because they're always following each other. I think that's really when it's changed, that girls are harder. to raise. All right, 842-547-7. What did he send me? And this is yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think boys, I mean, even though boys eat more, boys are a little less dramatic. They might, you might want to up your insurance because you're boys, but girls are far harder to raise.
Hey, Romeo, I just want to say I 100% agree with you. I have 2 daughters and a son, and he's in the middle. That kid, he's so easy. The girls, I take blood pressure medication, just so you know. And then when they get older, it doesn't get any better. It's still.
How old are your daughters?
So they're 22 now and 16, and my son's 19.
At what point did the daughters become harder to raise? At what age?
I say around when they started middle school.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They were just sweet angels from when they were born till about, what, 10, 11?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I love them so much, though. But
I get it.
They're hard. They are hard.
And you said they're still hard. Even how's the 21-year-old now? Does she still live with you?
Yeah. She went to college.
Oh, sure.
Out of state. And it was, a bit much. And, just like, so she came back home, but now she's, living her best life. She's back home and trying to figure it out. And things are turning for her. So I think that's kind of helping her.
Oh, good.
Good. A little with her stress. So.
All right. Well, perfect. Well, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Bye. Yeah, girls are easy to raise when they're running around in their little dresses and tutus, loving on you, just wanting to hang out. But once they hit that middle school, that's when you got to worry about them. All right, 842-547-7. Hey, good morning, Romeo. You'll be surprised at the amount of dudes out here gossiping, being more dramatic than females. I prefer my female friends because they're more straight up than most guys. Okay.
Romeo, these girls, they're built different. There's something else. They're crazy. I'm scared. Help me. I have 2. And okay, I have a 7-year-old, sweetest little girl ever, Angel. And I have a 12-year-old. I don't know who hurt her, but she's hurting all of us.
Damn,
I'll
really?
have to wake her up. I have to wake her up, Romeo, for school in the sweetest way, like, good morning, beautiful. It's going to be such a nice day. Trying to start off right. And it's wrong for her.
That is wrong. You should wake her up like my mom used to wake me up. Get your ass up. If you miss that bus, it's going to be your ass because I got to take you to school.
That was my first way. That was the way I would wake her up. And, oh, my God, it was hell for everybody in that car.
No, you got to. Yeah. See, I'm going to say this, and this is why I think that it's harder for girls today is because back in the day, most parents kind of treated their girls like their boys and kind of treated them both the same way when it came to certain situations. They didn't really entitle them when it came to some of the basics of life. And nowadays it's changed. I think that, I think you moms and dads need to step up your game.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember being like that when I was that age. And I tell my mom would say, slap her, hit her,
Exactly.
Like, put her in place. And yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a fear. I think, here's what I think, and could be completely wrong. I think boys still have a fear of their parents to a certain extent. I don't think girls do it all anymore. Now, that's over, I just think the way society has changed over the decades that girls don't have that same fear as boys still do of their parents.
I agree, actually.
And I'm not saying you got to touch your kids. I'm just saying there is an installed fear that, and we know it because we're still afraid of our parents to an extent. Even though they're old and we can whoop their ass, we're still afraid of them to an extent. And so I just don't think, I think girls, that's lost. They don't fear their parents at all anymore.
But you know what, Romeo? Even with that little ass whipping, it's like it's nothing to them. Now you say, give me your tablet, give me your iPhone, and give me all that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm running away. I hate this house. I go, you know what? I'll open the door for you. Matter of fact, I'll call John down that street, that homeless. He'll pick you up.
Oh, my God.
You know, he needs help holding that sign.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going to do, that's where you're going to end up. So, yeah, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. And I give it to all those parents right now raising teens because
it's
I
rough.
don't know where I went wrong, and I'm paying for it right
You,
now.
you didn't go wrong yet. You'll get it together. Don't worry. You'll be all right.
Hopefully.
You'll figure it out. All right. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
You'll figure it out. I mean, they'll figure it out. RD4254777. Would you send me here? Yo, Romeo, raising kids is only hard as you make it. Doesn't matter, boy or girl. The younger generation having kids is worried about being friends with their kids before being parents. That's why they think it's hard, because when they try and discipline their kids, they don't listen. Yeah. I think that's a fair statement to make. I do believe that. I mean, my parents were never trying to be my friends. But to be fair, we didn't have a lot in common. You know, my parents and me and my mother and father did not have a lot of common until I grew up and got older. And now we do have things in common, and we do get along very well. We always got along real well, but they were always the parent. What they said goes. And you're right. There is some validity to what you're saying about trying to be somebody's friend. You know, in this whole idea of, remember growing up when it was your parents' house, their rules were, you had to abide by their rules. You didn't have any say in the house because, well, and you're right, this is not gender biased. You didn't have any rules in the house because you didn't pay the bills. How many times do you remember hearing that from your mom or your dad? You don't pay nothing for this house. You get what you get. Now you got to a point where you're making 4 dinners for 3 different people because, you know, back in my day, you ate what your mom made or you did not eat. It was that simple. It was that black and white. I guess a lot of people today, think that's wrong. It's not wrong, you know? So I guess you're right. You're trying to be a friend. You're trying to, you know, let your kids have an opinion when they're too stupid or uneducated on the issue, but you're still going to let them have an opinion about it. So yeah, you're right. Trying to be friends, trying to treat your kids like friends. You might be right about that. I don't think you can discount what you just said. RD4254777. Yo, Rome. You were talking about what's harder, raising boys or girls, or what's easier. Raising boys is way easier. I got one example for you. I have a son who is 19 years old. He got his car at 16. He has never gotten lost coming home. Always figured out how to get home. And with GPS, how do you not know how to get home? My daughter yesterday called me, not really sure where we live. Now, she's 16 years old, just got her license a couple of months ago. I don't know where she went or how she got lost, but she has a car with GPS. I don't even know how that happens, Rome. So, yes, it's easier to raise boys. Oh, my God. I will tell you something about getting lost. Bakersfield is the first city I've ever lived in where I have met people that have lived here their entire life and have gotten lost driving around town. Craziest thing I ever seen. I first time ever in my life I've had that happen to me. All right, 84254-7-7. Although with GPS, nobody should ever get lost, right? All right. That's kind of funny, though. It's not any.
Morning, Romeo's Cowboy Chachi here.
Hey, what up, Jesse? What's up?
Hey, I just got back from out of state. I have a question. I saw about raising kids. Man, raising kids is hard. I raise a lot of turkeys, animals, and pigs, and it's a lot better than raising kids. If they act up, they slaughter them. We have dinner. Can't do that with kids nowadays, man. They have more rights than the parents do.
Oh, my God, Jesse. You lost your mind.
God forbid you yell at them and take their iPhone away or iPad. And, man, you're doing time. You're doing hard time. You're like, what you eating for? I took an iPad away from a kid. Man, 2-year-old toddler doing time. It's a lot easier to raise animals, that's for sure. Right, and to feed you.
All right, Jesse.
I'm telling you, Romeo, that's the way it is. This is the society we live in now.
I got you, brother. Thanks for calling.
All right, Romeo. You take care.
He said, what are you in for? I took the iPad away from my 6-year-old. You got 6 months for that?
Hey, what's up, Rome?
Hey, Ruben.
Man, I think it's easy to raise girls, Rome. I got my 6 daughters, no boys, but I 1 year I coached the boys team, and I tell you what, I'm sure glad I had nothing but girls. These boys are soft, Rome. They complain, they cry, they whine about everything. Girls, they're ready to let's do it. Let's get it done.
Maybe from an athletic standpoint, the girls might be a little more competitive and a little more, but no, not in the real world. No.
I don't know, Rome, but even out here, like we go play like prayer
know.
teams. Like, bro, we go to the beach, Rome. We go to the beach, and my nephew goes with us. He's crying about the sand and all in his ears. He wants to go back to the hotel, or he wants to stay at a hotel. My kids are over there burying themselves in the sand, Rome, and everything. Want to sleep in a tent, not the toy haulers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think girls are way easier. They're way ongoing. The boys, they're just a lot of baby lalas, man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Ruben. All right, man. Yeah. I mean, you're 100% wrong, but okay. That's your experience, though. That's your journey.
Romeo in the Morning.
Every morning.
On Hot 94.1.